Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. We have the Bosch Compact half-inch drill driver kit. Yes, it's a kit. The buggers though, they never gave us any drill bits or screwdriver bits. What are they thinking? We need more tools. Okay, alright. It's a drill. It's got a couple batteries and a charger with it. It's Bosch. See, look at it. It's pretty, isn't it? Nah, come on. We don't want to see a box, do we? No. We want to see this. We want to see what's inside this thing. So we do have a case. I got this at Canadian Tire last night. I got my Christmas bonus from work, and it's like, sweet, what am I going to buy? So I actually got a couple things. I got a police security flashlight, which I've had before, except this time we'll get to lumen test it. So that was, check my flashlight playlist on my channel for that one. And I got this. And this was on sale for $100. So it does have, of course, the case, and you got your usual, manual, literature, that sort of junk with it. We don't need to go through that, all right? If you got to read that stuff to run a drill, I don't know. But I don't read that stuff. I don't bother with it. So we do have a nice charger. Now, I do have another Bosch 18-volt drill. You can check my channel. I've had a few Bosch drills. One I got from a pawn shop. But the brand new one, which I still have, 5 years later now, it's still running like a really good workhorse and just doesn't seem to want to die. So why'd I buy another drill? I wanted another drill. And I wanted something with a little bit more horsepower too, which this one offers. And funny thing is, 5 years ago, I bought my other Bosch drill, which is actually the Bosch DD-B181 18-volt drill. Look that up on my channel, okay? And you'll see that drill driver. We are going to do a side-by-side comparison of these, by the way, on a separate video for you guys. And then Canadian Tire, I got this one for $100 last night on sale, normally $139.99. And I thought, man, this kind of is cool. Twice in a row over 5 years with inflation and everything right now. Holy cow, that's a good deal. And it looks like our batteries are pretty identical. We'll have to compare those and make sure. But anyways, because my batteries are still going strong as ever, even after 5 years. These lithium-ion batteries, they are fabulous, man. They're just workhorses. So, anyways, there's our drill. Now, we do have, of course, a 2-speed transmission on this thing. So, speed number 1. And we've got forward and reverse, obviously. We've even got a little flashlight there to light up your area, kind of, sort of, I guess. I don't know why they put lights on drills. I can see just fine. But anyway, so it is variable speed, of course. The more pressure you put, the faster things go. Now, when it comes to the RPM, now that I'm going to have to fetch the box for a second, so hang on a second so I can tell you the actual speeds here. Top speed on transmission 2 setting is 1800 RPM, they say. Lowest is 480. So this is like transmission position 1, okay? So 480. But check this out, man. And this is still a brushed drill, so it's not a brushless motor. I wish it was for $100. Woo, I'd be in my glory. Anyway, so variable again. 1800 RPM. Now you can do a lot of damage with 1800 RPMs. Oh yeah. Now, generally, if you're going to be driving screws in, of course, you don't do that on the second setting. Okay, you need to do that on transmission 1 because it's lower speed with a whole whack load of torque. Okay, you don't get the same torque response on transmission side 2, and you'll also kill your battery quicker if you do that. Trust me, I've actually tortured my other Bosch drill, which we're going to see, by doing just that, being in number 2 and just going brr, 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 and the battery is like going, man, seriously, you're really doing this to me? I'm about out of here. See ya. But when I leave it in transmission 1, I can drill like 300-400 screws easy on a charge and not think about it. But on 2, you're not gonna get that quite performance, and it is hard on the motor too when you do that. When you're in position 2 trying to drive screws. Position 2 is more for drilling with, okay, so drilling through wood, that sort of thing. Actually, with metal, if you're going to drill metal like steel, I would put this thing on 1, because anytime you go past 500 RPM, with or without cutting fluid to drill through steel, you're going to destroy your drill bit like no problem, okay? That's why you need position 1. In position 2, when you're going that high a rate into steel, that's a no-no, man. That is just going to burn your bit like in seconds, okay? So you want to be in number 1 for all your low speed drilling into steels. You know, anything furious metal, right? But aluminum you could drill faster, brass you could drill faster. In fact, I would probably recommend with brass and aluminum, drill at a higher rate, because you also get cleaner cuts, and those kind of metals are very soft and they don't harm your drill bits. But any kind of steel or hard furious metals, you want to be in position 1. Try not to go full bore, but if you must, you must, okay? I mean, but at least use cutting fluid if you want to salvage your edge on your drill bit any. But this thing is beefy, and this is also a 1/2-inch drive, the same as my other one, okay? And it is a keyless chuck. They're fantastic because, you know, and of course we do have the clutch system, so if you're drilling screws into, say, drywall, for example, why buy a drywall gun? You know, just figure out where it's going to be able to slip the best to just drive that screw just barely under the edge of the drywall, okay, so that it countersinks properly, okay? Same as when you're doing screws. And you don't want to go overboard into wood, especially thinner woods. You want to set the clutch so that the screw does not go right through, okay? You want it to be just under the top surface, just under, okay? And then you're perfectly fine to go and rock and roll, right? So you'll figure out your clutch positions. And there's a little arrow here on the top that's going to give you your marks, you know, so 5, so 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you're on 10. So each little dash is 1, right? So then you start out at 1, and you stop at 20 for that, and then after 20, right here, you go into a non-click locker, which you can adjust your tension accordingly, which would come in handy when you're drilling into a more harder metal if your bit catches. If you're kind of at about the midway point, there's a better chance that it's going to stop and maybe slip the clutch a little, as opposed to continuing to go, ripping your wrist off your body, you know, kind of thing, breaking your wrist. And you'd be fine. Like I had a brushless rigid drill, and that thing was scary. Because of being brushless, it's 80% more torque, and a lot of speed too compared to brushed motors. And yeah, I've had it catch a few times because I was like, oh, I should have backed off the clutch, and it just about ripped my wrist off. And yeah, I ended up with a sore wrist for a day or two because of that. So yeah, you got to be careful with that sort of thing. But if you go into full out drill mode here, you are no clutch slipping, period. Yeah, you can shatter a drill bit if it catches right in the wrong way into steels. But yeah, that's drill mode for drilling. Otherwise, technically you should use your clutch. But you don't actually have to use the clutch if you don't want to. But I would recommend it for if you have to just barely countersink a screw. I would use the clutch for that. And it does make it a multi-tool, like I said. Why buy a drywall drill that's going to cost you a lot of money for what? You can just buy the bits, because I actually have a drywall bit that just goes right on the end, and it countersinks and stops the face there. But at the same time, you still want that clutch setting there either way, so you don't destroy the bit and skip the bit, or snap the head off the screw, because that can happen too. But anyway, so they already have one battery already installed in the drill, obviously. You do get your other battery in the box, so you've got 2 batteries, you've got a charger. Now, it looks like they've made the charger nicer, so that's kind of cool. A little bit of an upgrade. I'm going to be bringing in, like I said, the other drill with all of its pieces, so you can see this is what you got for $100, and this is the specs from 5 years ago, and this is what you're going to get for $100 on sale. today kind of thing, right? And like I said, I bought this at Canadian Tire. There's a lot of places you can buy Bosch drills, but you know, I wouldn't pay, literally would not pay more than $140. And I think that, you know, this is definitely worth the $140, and I'm sure this thing's gonna probably last me for years beyond. I mean, if my other one's still going strong, and literally, guys, I have dropped that drill off of a trailer, okay, and it's hit the floor, and, you know, no damage to the drill, no damage to the battery, and I'm like, I'm shocked, you know, like, holy cow, that thing took a beating. It's been through the ropes, and nothing's broken on it, and I use that thing pretty much every day, you know, so it's a really, really good, strong drill. Mastercraft stuff would never stand up to that kind of abuse, that's for sure. And we were looking at Mastercraft because I thought, you know, but then anything that they had was either too much more money than this and wasn't even near as good, or the cheaper stuff was just that. It's cheap and it's garbage. It's like, if you're paying under $100 even on sale for a Mastercraft drill, I'll guarantee you, you're not getting much of a drill. And if you're looking at resale value, even over the long term, selling as a used drill, you're going to get more money value out of Bosch, DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Rigid than you will ever see out of Mastercraft branded of any Mastercraft tool. And yes, that includes their wrenches. Even though their wrenches and sockets are guaranteed for life, their resale value is absolutely pathetic. Okay, because, you know, they'll have a $500 toolkit on for $120. What's that telling you? If they can sell it that cheap, their cost is even cheaper, and they work on about a 300% or more markup as it is, you know. So, you know, they're still making really good money even selling that $500 socket kit for $120. You know, they're making their money. Don't be fooled by that, okay? People think, oh, they just haven't gotten rid of it, so they want to clear out stuff for new stuff. No, that's not how it works with Mastercraft, okay? So, trust me, I've seen them selling the same wrenches and stuff for the last 30 years, and it's like, you know what I mean? I love the Maximum series of wrenches, so they're fantastic. I just don't like the cheaper series. But anyway, but yeah, resale value sucks on Mastercraft. So down the line, if you retire from your job, or maybe you just don't need the tools anymore, period, you're done with your building projects, yeah, you're not getting any real money out of Mastercraft. But out of Bosch, they retain their value really well. So that's pretty good. And the batteries are freaking awesome. I don't know how many cycles I've got in the last 5 years on my other Bosch drill with its batteries, but I gotta tell you, it's a lot. And because I've seen myself recharge the batteries at least twice in the same day because of a job and how much workload was being put through the drill and everything else. And yeah, they just keep going. They don't want to die, you know, so that's great. So, and like I said, the drill, my other one has been a workhorse. It's been through so much abuse, and it still won't break or die. So that's really good. But I did want another drill, but I wanted more horsepower, which this one does give me a lot more speed, you know, and it's definitely going to deliver more torque. You know, so that's pretty good. And yes, the other one's a brushed motor as well. But I can't really say as far as a review goes right now, as far as what I would give this particular one as a star rating, only because I need to put it through its paces. And my season is done for now. I don't go back to work now until probably April of 2023, so I get a few months off, which is kind of nice. I get to spend more time on YouTube videos, my music, and other things. So I do look forward to my vacation each year. So I'm thinking probably, I'm back in work usually around April, so May, so June. Let's say May, let's say probably maybe June. Expect a full review on this thing. I'm going to abuse it. Okay, so expect a full review at that time. So at this time, I'm sorry, no star rating, no technical review, but I will say this: if you are looking for a very good quality with a lot of speed and a lot of torque, it is comfortable, even though it's got some weight to it. You know, it's a beefy machine. If you're looking for something in this caliber that you can use not only as a DIYer at home, but also in the work area, you don't buy Mastercraft for work use. You buy Bosch, you buy Rigid, you buy DeWalt, you buy Milwaukee. I'm not a huge fan of Milwaukee, so I've had some of their stuff and I really didn't like it too much. Way overpriced for what you got. So I'm actually more of a Bosch and Rigid kind of guy than anything. I do have one DeWalt product before DeWalt got bought out, and that sucker of a sander still won't die. See, DeWalt is now owned by Black & Decker. Black & Decker tools are slowly kind of creeping up to being better. It's just taken them for like ever. So they are kind of slowly, but at least they're now catering to very low-end DIY basic stuff. And they're kind of getting into a little bit more, they're leaning toward the other markets, okay? Just, they're still behind the times. I still would not use anything Black & Decker in the business world, okay? It's just not going to perform or last, let alone perform. And their sanders, by the way, from Black & Decker still suck. They still explode quite quickly. So don't buy any of their sanders. Just go and spend the money on a DeWalt and you'll be done. You'll never have to buy another one. Or buy some other brand that's well known and very high end. But yeah, Bosch is definitely good stuff, but to get this one torture tested, we got to find out how well this new model works in comparison, and we'll definitely give you some outlook there. The idiot light I can either take or leave. I don't care about little light bulbs on lights. They usually, I mean, they do burn out over time. You know, and it's not worth the hassle to try and replace one. Been there, done that on a Rigid tool, and just not worth my time. Yeah, at least they give you a little tiny light bulb. Go, look, you got some light there. That helps. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good drill though so far. It's looking very impressive to me. You know, I do love the keyless chuck. Oh man, the days of keys. They were such a pain. The keyless chucks are so much nicer. You know, and I love the lockup so that when you're actually, you know, tightening this thing up, it's not going to move. You know, it's going to keep allowing you to twist that torque down onto it. So it's not going to slip. So as an example, if we take the chuck like this, right, we're going to turn this one. No matter what, it still has a locker. It's not going to move, right? So, and that's on the lowest setting for the clutch. Now, if you take a drill, something like your typical Black & Deckers, right? Keyless chuck, doesn't matter what you do. You're not going to get a lot of lock up there. So you're going to have to grip it and spin it into place with your hand, which some people aren't going to like it if it slips in their hand. Because even this little guy has a lot of torque behind it. I was quite impressed with this thing. But that's Black & Decker. I got it for $8 at Value Village. I'm figuring very light duty stuff. Sure, why not? And for $8 I have to review it anyways. It's funny. But it's a cute little drill. But very impressive too. But yeah, so definitely, you know, that's one feature you really want too on any drill, is that you can tighten up that locking clutch on here, on the chuck, and not have it go turn, turn, turn. You want a good, really stiff lockup, especially with drill bits, man. There's nothing worse than if you don't have enough tension on your drill bit and you're starting to drill into something and it catches and the chuck slips around the bit, it wrecks your bit. Right? It's like, some drill bits can be pretty expensive, trust me. Okay? And yeah, I wouldn't want to have a really expensive bit get destroyed just because the clutch couldn't tighten it enough. These will. Okay, so that's another nice reassurance. But anyways, that's it for this. So like I said, no star rating now. Wait for the review to come when I'm back at work again. But also stay tuned, because later today we're going to do a side-by-side of these things and see what all we have for differences in weights and versus speeds and stuff, and you'll see that after 5 years, that Bosch thing that's been through literally pretty much hell and back with me has still stood the test of time even after 5 years of abuse in the shop. So yeah, that is a fantastic drill. So definitely recommend these. So right now, like I said, on sale, Canadian Tire, $100. regular $139. I think it's still worth the $139, but definitely worth the $100, because then you can take your other $40 in taxes that you saved and go and blow it on some, you know, some drill bits and screwdriver bits, whatever you want, kind of thing, and get even more for your money in that sense. Just for the $100 and tax, you get this, and I think that's a great deal. And with the carry case too included. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one. See ya.